Okay, here we go. So, hello everyone. Hi, my name is Lay Ralston, and I am super excited to do this live stream with all of you. It is November 8th, and I am here actually trying to contemplate what what am I doing? What am I doing when it comes to my planning and stuff? And 2022 is coming, and it seems like this year I don't know, I feel like I have just been jumping from one planner to another. Does that make sense? But I feel like that's what I've been doing. I mean, yeah. So I'm using a bullet journal. I think I did a video last week showing you guys a flip through of my bullet journal. And so far, I'm still loving it and still enjoying this, but it's mostly I feel like it's not serving me as when it comes to being productive, because I feel like I'm using my bullet journal to play around and create and just have lots of fun with my drawings and all that stuff. And I'm not saying that that is not good, because, I always tell people that if you have something you're doing and you're doing it with all your heart and you're having fun, there's no wrong, there's no right. It's just that whatever that you feel like serves you, then go for it, and go with it. And so I have the bullet journal, which is from Leuchtturm, and I really love saying the word Leuchtturm. I know you know that. And then I have here the Jibun Techo. This is a 2022 edition. Well, I kind of created my own cover in here. And then, so these are the two planners that I'm really strongly feel like I'm going to keep for 2022. Now, how I'm going to use both is still unknown. But that's the fun part. That's the part where you kind of like just go with the flow and enjoy the process and just really have fun with it. And I actually bought the Jibun Techo Daily Edition as well, but that doesn't start until January. So I kind of have like a couple more months to decide if I'm going to stick with the Jibun Techo system. So I used it last week. I didn't create a layout for my Leuchtturm last week, but I just used the Jibun Techo last week for the weekly. And then I kind of planned last night, just gonna stick all my stickers in here. I love my stickers. Oh, Celine! So Sarita is here watching. Hello, hello. And so did set it up just a little bit, just stick my stickers and all that. What I was missing, and I was thinking about this last night, is that I really miss creating my own layouts, believe it or not, because I thought that was going to be something that is not little, it's a whole lot of time consuming. But I really enjoy it. And so that's what we're going to do today is we're going to create our own layout in my Leuchtturm notebook. And if you love if you love planning, then I do hope you'll enjoy this video. So I have my notebook, I have my eraser, I have pencils in here, and then I have my favorite markers here. All right, so weekly. So I was thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. God damn, this is math. All right, let's just do it. I was thinking we can do four boxes here, 4 boxes here. All right. And then the beautiful thing about the Leuchtturm is that you actually have a guide here. Maybe my camera is too bright, that it won't pick it up. So let's turn down the brightness a little bit. So here you have the guide of how many dot grids you need. So basically your middle would be, have 25 in here. So your 13 would be in the middle. And then there's going to be dots like that in each page to give you a guide. So here you have 1 dot over here. My have a hard time picking it up. But you kind of have those guides with you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go straight for the middle because here we have a guide. So I'll just go straight in the middle here, right? So I'll go one from that middle across. So this is the middle. I'm going to go one line to the left and the other to the right also. So I'll go right here. And then my middle here is this. So I'll stay right here. So right here. And then I'll leave one part in that. And then I'll repeat the same process. I'll go over here. Go above my middle part and then go one line below my middle part. All right. Let's see. You might not be able to see it well because I'm using some pencil. And trust me, I've learned my lesson. It's much better to use a pencil at first, just so you are sure before you lay down your markers, because you can't erase those. And look, I've already went way past the line. I am not the most careful creative person you'll see. I'm like, I'm a rebel. So, and I'm surprised I'm actually using a ruler today. I would normally just wing this out, but I feel like I want to be legit. Is that a word? Legit today. Over here. Those guides are so helpful. Thank you, guides. All right. Go next to the other one, and we'll repeat the same process. Found the middle, so I'll go one dot to the left, and then my middle part is here, so I'll go stop a dot before that middle, and do the same thing on the other side. So from here, oops. Some people may just say, you know what, just get me a darn planner and just, that's it. Let me put my plans in there. But some people like me, I have learned to enjoy this process because doing this, I can really create it the way I want it to look exactly, exactly the way I want it to look. And to however I need it up. Look at that, I went straight to that. Okay, lay, we don't do that. Turn around. So now we have 4. No, we don't have 8 days in a week, but I'm gonna leave one box for to-dos and goals. Sometimes I leave it for grocery lists and stuff like that. Okay. So we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then I'll leave this as my to-do. Or actually, I might use this box. So we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's what we'll do. All right, so now that we have that, I'm gonna go in and use my fine liner. This is the Pitt Artist Pen from Faber-Castell. And this is the fine tip. So wish me luck. Because even though I have a ruler, I am the worst at making lines. I could never go straight. I don't know why. And I'm using a ruler already. I feel like something slips and then I go, yikes, I move it. I'm not using this ruler correctly. I know it. There. I'll go over here. There. That is look at my, why? How can I do this? Just there. Huh? All right. Better. Super cold outside. It's nice. I love fall weather. I'm wearing my fuzzy socks. Ah, it feels so good. I have the door open. Took some allergy pill because if not, oh my goodness, my allergies will go crazy. Here. Go line it up like that. Okay. I hope you don't mind me singing every once in a while. I love humming and singing while I'm working in my bullet journal like this. Just makes me even happier. If that's even possible. I'm such a happy person also. I think I spent all my teenage years being angry at the world. But now that I'm older, yeah, I am much, much happier. When I was a teenager, oh my goodness. I did it. I went past the line. I told you I do this all the time. How? How? I don't know, but I do. We'll see if the white marker will work. Actually, it might. So we'll leave it just like that. I did it. I did it. All right, Lay. Stay within your lines. I love this new paper of the Bullet Journal 2.0. I know I enjoy the Archer and Olive, the thick paper that they have, but I think I honestly prefer this paper much better than the thickest paper that you'll find in the market because it still feels, it's just a personal preference, okay? So take whatever I say with a grain of salt because everything is personal preference. So whether it's about markers or whether it's about paper, you know, my experience will not be the same as yours. So I'm just sharing what I like, what I don't like. I like that this paper is now a bit thicker than the original Leuchtturm paper. I love that it's a yellow, there's a slight yellow tint to it. So it's on the warmer side compared to the, per se, the Archer and Olive and the Scribbles That Matter. Some people might not like that. Some people might like pure white, but I honestly do love this yellow tone to the paper. So I'm just using this Pitt Artist pen in white. So I'm just trying to cover up my boo-boo. It might not do anything, but maybe. All right, so I think I'm going to use this one for my goals and all my lists. So I'm going to count 2 dots and I'm going to do a line just to put in the heather like that. All right. We're going to cover that up later. Now for this part, instead of me go on and on and on about Mondays and Tuesdays and all that, I think I'm going to use some stickers for this one. So hold on. So it's going to depend on my color scheme of what I want to do. If I find anything that will match the color scheme that I have in my head, we might go for that. I'm thinking of fall, but everything I have seems to be so bright and happy. But I really want something like fall color. This might work. So we'll do this. This is our, this is us stickers, and I don't know how to peel stickers just to save my life. I do this all the time. Okay. We have Monday. We'll put it right in the middle. Right? And then we have Tuesday. I don't know where I'll put my dates. We'll figure it out later. Let's go one step at a time. We'll do Wednesday. Okay. We'll do Thursday. We'll go Friday. Saturday. And then Sunday. Okay. So we have our days of the week in here. All right. So we have our to do in here. I have a sticker of this says to do. Do I use it? I don't know. I don't think so. Get it done. This might work. Like that. So I'll use a pink marker from Faber-Castell. This is the Pink Matter Lake 129. So I'm just going to go like that to cover up this space here. Okay. And then put this sticker over here. It says get it done. And then I have some heart shapes in here. How I do my daily and my weekly planning. So for my weekly planning, I would normally have a top 3 priorities, what needs to get done for that whole week. And sometimes when there's more, of course, you just put in more. And then how I do about my daily priorities is the same way. So I have a top 3 for my day-to-day activities, or top 3 that are really priorities that needs to get done. But that's, of course, if I have a lot of things to get done. But if you don't, then you don't have to follow along the top 3 things. But the way I've been planning, and that's been working out for me so far, is just prioritizing and doing 3 things that are the most important ones. And then the rest it's going to fall to maybe, kind of like work. If I can work around my schedule, then I can accomplish those things other than the top 3, and then move on to the next day and then follow along. It's been working out. So, right. So we have our days. I think since I don't have dates in here, I thought I do. I guess I don't. Let's see here. Oh, it's in the mini stickers, but I don't have my mini stickers. So I'm going to use this over here, and I'm just going to put in a small circle and then fill in that circle shape. And I'll probably just use the same color. It doesn't matter. Let's just use this one. This one is the dark chrome yellow in 109. So the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pens, I don't think I have made a video that is just focused on this pen. I have been working with this pen marker for quite some time now, and I have gotten used to working with it. I mean, I love it. At first, in the beginning, I would always compare it to my Tombow dual brush markers, but really, it wasn't fair because there are 2 different, very, very different markers. First of all, this Pitt Artist Pen is an India. It has India ink, so they're water-based India ink. India ink is going to be waterproof once it's dry, and these markers are really light fast. That's why they're on the expensive side, because this is an professional grade, I should say, professional grade markers. And so the Tombow dual brush markers are water-based, and they kind of work like watercolor. So once the markers are dry, and you can always reactivate it with water. So the Pitt Artists are waterproof once they're dry. You cannot reactivate it with water. You don't have to worry about accidentally spilling and then losing everything that you've written down. So, you know, it has both pros and cons. It doesn't have any smell. So, I mean, I don't know if you're sensitive about that, but this one doesn't have any of the smell. All right. It's a brush tip also. I love it. So we'll create a new different video, you know, a separate video for that. So how I would go about working on my weekly, I'm going to go in my monthly first and look at whatever appointment we have, and then I'm going to move it over to my weekly. So first of all, we have to put in our dates. All right. This one I'm going to use my Tombow Fudenosuke. I love this pen. I talk about this pen all the time. So today is the 8th. Oh my gosh, time flies so fast. So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and November 14. Goodness. All right, so let's look at our months. All right. So if you have bills, this is where it's going to fall. You see the bills, whatever expenses that you have, and appointments, and you know, so on and so forth. So today we have, it's Jeff's birthday. Okay. So what I'll do with this, so you'll use another marker just to kind of put in my top 3s. Just making dots. So we have top 3s in here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. On a Sunday, I don't really have a whole lot of thing going on, so I think I'm going to leave it blank like that. All right, so we have, today is Baby Rain has a dermatologist appointment. And trust me, so for example, even if it's passed already, like for example, Rain already left for the dermatologist appointment, it is important for me to put it down in my planner, because a week from now, 2 weeks, a month, you know, 2 months, and say, when was the last time Rain went to the dermatologist? And so I have it in my planner. So even if it's passed, I like to kind of use it as a planner and also to document things, just so I have it in here, all the information when I need it in the future. Okay, today is my brother-in-law's birthday. And then we have to pay $29.99 for my Adobe subscription. All right. And then on Wednesday, we have my free class with Michaels. $5 o'clock. All right, I'm just writing down everything before we start decorating this planner. So on the 11th, on Thursday, Zion has an orthodontist appointment at 3:30. All right, then I have a bill coming out here. You can put it over here. $26.99 for my paper person subscription. And I'm pretty sure I have more things to put in here as we go along, but let's decorate this. I was thinking of making a very fall theme, like what I said. And so I've pulled out some colors in here, and I want this to look good with the stickers that I used. I want to draw cute kawaii things in here, like for example, a coffee cup. There's something in here. Let's draw. Adorably cute, my little girl. So I draw my cup first. I'm using a mechanical pencil. This is a Faber-Castell 0.7. I love the 0.7 because it's little thicker than the 0.5. The 0.5 is really, really thin and sharp. Sometimes I can't see what I'm sketching because my eyes are not how it used to be. So we'll just have her sketch in here. And then I'll put in my little girl face here. Mm-hmm. When I'm drawing in my planner, I really choose to make it super simple, super easy. That's why I love the kawaii style, because it's not complicated. You draw 2 circles for the hand and you're all good. I think most adults, and that is including me, we try to overcomplicate things most of the time. That's why when we're trying to draw something, we kind of like, how do you do that? Oh no, I can't. I don't know how to do that. It's hard, because we try to overcomplicate things. And when it's really just simple as drawing 2 dots for the eyes and all that, and it's still going to look cute. And so basically I wanted you to see the process, because when I'm doing a plan with me, everything's in time lapse. And sometimes you just see the finished result. And so you didn't see the ugly part of doing it. For example, the sketch is like this, And so I wanted you to really see the process of what I'm doing in here. Okay, and so here I want to create a laptop just to kind of like show that I have a Zoom class. So we'll draw a big circle in here just to kind of show a webcam like this, and a frame with small boxes, all that. And then I'll just show my head. It doesn't look like a hair, doesn't it? See what I'm talking about? The ugly process part of it. So we'll draw a circle first for my head, and then we'll go from there. And then I can draw the hair so it looks like a hair. There you go. I can put in my hand in the front to kind of make it look like there. That's all I need. And just draw a heart. A heart makes everything look better. So that's for Zoom. And then for the themed drawings, let's put it over here where there's not a whole lot of things going on. So for example, for today, I'm filming. So, today's the filming day. So I'll work on some reels. I'm working on this video right now. And then tomorrow will just be editing day for the reels. So I don't have a lot of lists. So I can draw some things in here. Draw a cute mushroom. Something like that. And then we can, what else can we draw in here? A little cute snail. So we'll draw the body of, the shell of the snail first. I'm just drawing an oval like that. I'll just have here. That is super weird. Okay. Okay. And then for Thursday, I have to work on list, but I want to match this theme where we have the mushroom. So I'll put in some over here at the bottom part too. Right. So let's move the markers. So I'm just kind of going to copy what we did with the mushroom in there. And then I'll make a cluster of mushroom. Make a much thicker body. That. And then we'll add a pattern for this mushroom because why not? This. So I'm just adding some tentacles, some leaves like this. And then instead of a snail, we'll make a frog. So we have the base shape of the frog first. So always start with the basic shape and then just go from there. So here I'm going to add the legs. I'm going to add the eyes of the frog. You don't have to put arms in the frog to make it even look cuter, kind of like just a body and a little tiny leg, you know. So really there's so many different ways you can do, and then just play around with it artistically. And don't try not to base too much on what they actually look like in person, especially if you're doing a kawaii style. And I think that's what's going to separate your drawing from the rest, because everybody else that's going to draw it will try and make it look like a real frog, you know. But when you're drawing like a kawaii in a cartoony style, just make it super simple, basic shapes and basic strokes, and that's what's going to make it so much cuter. At least that's how I do things. So you can see the process in there. And then we can add a little fairy for my Saturday. So we'll start with the basic shape of the head. How I would normally go about doing kawaii faces like this, I have really big head is what I do. And then the body is super smaller than the rest of the head. So we'll do it like this, kind of like this is her dress. Like this, add her ears. And then go like that. And then she'll have a big bun. Put a ribbon over here. That. And there her hands are like this. Her other arm. Just half of her other leg. Yeah, and then start adding the features. I'll put a wand in here. Put a star in the wand. He's super cute. All right. Just add those little tiny stars in there. All right, I think we're good. So let me zoom out. Okay, and then I thought I do have my, instead of, here we go. I was sorry, I was looking for my kneadable eraser. I love using the kneadable eraser when I'm erasing because what I would do is I would just roll it like this. I know it's very counterproductive because you kind of sketch it, you draw it, and then you're going to erase it. But how you're going to erase your sketches is not entirely, you're not going to erase your entire drawing, but basically you're just trying to lighten it up to a point where you can still see what you're doing and but at the same time avoid those harsh sketched lines because you want it to be clean and so just try and erase as much as you can, but leaving enough drawing to follow along. And so that's what I'm trying to do right now. So this is a kneadable eraser from Faber-Castell. I love it, but you don't have to use the same products that I'm using, of course. But, I really think this is one of those things that I get asked a whole lot. Do you have to buy the expensive supplies to become a great artist? Definitely not. No, no. You can start with a pen and a, eraser, pencil and eraser and a notebook and a paper and go from there and just practice and practice and practice. And then really learn from your mistakes. And then along the way, when you want to build your, supplies, then you can start adding little things and start with a not super expensive, but kind of like a mid-range. So you still get the quality because if you're going to use like, let's say a trash, product, then it might get frustrating. You might not get the result that you want in the beginning. So it will just leave you frustrated and not want to go practice and not be better, So I say use a mid-range kind of art supplies and then just go from there. All right, so I'm going to use my Tombow Fudenosuke pen. Fudenosuke pen is a brush tip, but although it doesn't have a brush tip, flexible nib, I should say. Look at that nib. So this is the hard tip. It comes in the blue and a green. The green will be the softer tip, and this is the harder tip. But I like the harder tip, especially when I'm drawing or even with lettering, because I can still get enough control. Even when it's flexible, I can still, apply pressure to get my thicker strokes and then loosen on my pressure and get thin strokes. And the way I do my drawings are the same way. I wanted to have the thin and thick strokes when I am drawing or doodling. All right, so for here, I'm gonna start with her arms because this is the foreground. That's the first drawing that should be up in front. And then the second would be the cup. So all right, and then just following along. Being mindful of every stroke because I don't know about you, but with me, even when I have sketches, for some reason, I still kind of do what I feel like I want to do. Of course, there are some things where it's like, okay, you know what, I can make this line much better, but my strokes go all over the place. It's like my hand has a whole different mind. It doesn't want to follow what my brain is saying. It's a little frustrating, but you got to embrace the process, I suppose. Let's see, she's super cute. All right, let's do the second scene with our mushroom. Okay. I feel like I want to use watercolors to color these doodles instead of markers. We'll see. Markers are just so much easier, you know, because there's no cleaning in between of every color. But watercolors just gives this different look to it. All right, so I'm going to follow along the body of my snail first. Like that. Then I'll do the shell. Tiny eyes. One thing I love about this Fudinowski pen is that you can go as thin as you want by just applying less pressure, and then go thick by applying pressure. Look. So I love that variety of strokes. Make that black. Cute. All right, then we'll do this one. I feel like this girl doesn't have anything to do with the theme, but I'll just make her cute. Kind of like the zoom window. And notice that my drawings are not, I don't use a whole lot of straight lines. Even for the computer laptops, everything's kind of like slightly slanted. But those inside of those are straight lines. But just trying to make it look like a keyboard. Go. Right, we have this one. And we're going to go over to our frog and our mushrooms over here. Face first. That. Right. I think I'll start with the eyes of my frog first. Wow, these are some big eyes. All right. In real life, I am terrified of frogs. I don't know why, but they just, I don't know, they scare me. Maybe I was traumatized from a younger age. Can't remember, but I mean, that's the only reason I can think of why I'm scared of frogs. Right? Hee hee hee. So cute. Okay, then last but not the least, I'm going to draw our little tiny fairy. Big bows. Big bun. That. And 2 dots for the eyes. Right, then I'm going to draw her arm, tress, that. She's holding a wand. Right. Tiny arm on the side. Stars. All right. Super cute. All right. Okay, so from here, we can start erasing the rest of your sketches, you know. So just go lightly because you don't want to erase your marker lines, your strokes. And then notice that I started from the very first drawing because I gave it enough time to kind of like let the ink dry in there so I don't end up with lots of smudges. So, you know, if you struggle with that too, like smudging of your line art, trust me, you're not alone. So I kind of want to give it a lot of time before I start erasing, give the marker to really sink in, because sometimes it's not the markers, it's not just the markers, but it's also the type of paper that you're using. For example, this Leuchtturm notebook, it has a little bit of coating. So you have to give the paper and the ink, you know, enough time for it to really dry and let it seep through that paper before you start erasing, so you don't end up with lots of smudges. And so here, since this is the brand new, the latest drawing, I'm just going to go really lightly and try to just really find those sketch marks and erase it. Do you kind of accidentally say delete? Because I do sometimes when I'm doing a workshop and say, okay, so now it's time to delete things. Is that a computer? So no, sorry. Just kind of random things that pops in my head. Okay, so I'm thinking watercolors, maybe not. But since I can't find any water, because as usual, I didn't prepare for this, so no, I don't think we can. Well, maybe we can. We have the Tombow in here. So this set is from Prima Marketing. I've had this for a very, very long time. So this is the tropical set, and I found a water brush from Tombow, so we'll do that. And hold on, let me grab some water. Oops. Carefully. Really carefully. Try to do that. I have a paper towel. Just kind of clean my brushes in between, and let's seep a little bit of that water. I have a little bit too much in there. Okay. So I'll grab the red, actually the orange one. put it over here. Clean my brush and dip into the brown just so we can have a deeper orange. And I'll put that in the mushroom. And see, what I love about this paper is that it has a little bit of coating. So what happens is that it doesn't dry instantly. So I have enough time to move around those colors. And this water brush that I have from Tombow is really, really thin. So this is a very fine tip. It gives me really the ability to go into those hard to reach corners, but I still color the parts where I shouldn't. I'm a special child, and I do that. No matter how hard I try, I feel like I still color. I'm just gonna, oh Lordly. I'm trying to take it out, trying to pull those colors, but nope, nope, no, 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 no. Didn't work. Right, never mind. I'll go in and grab some orange. Nope, kind of like magenta looking in there. Clean my brush in between. See what I was talking about, a mess when it comes to watercolor, because there's like cleaning and dipping and cleaning and dipping and just a lot of work. But you get a much different result from using a marker, you know, so it just gives you different results. It just depends on how much work you want to put in there, or you want instant color, then you use markers. So I grabbed some green for my plants in here. When you're going to use just the color straight out of the pan, then you don't have to worry about mixing. And that's when, you know, your workflow will be a little faster. Then instead of having a limited palette and you want the specific color in your head and you know that you still have to mix colors, then that might take a little bit of time. So I'm going to use the same color that I used for the mushroom, and I'm just going to color our little snail the same color as that. But over here at the bottom part of her shell, I'm going to grab a little bit of brown and just kind of add some depth to it. Adding some shadows, cleaning my brush, cleaning it in that paper towel. I love it. So be careful not to move around too much, especially when your paper your surface is still wet, because you're going to move that first layer that you colored in. And that's why lately I've been really enjoying the gouache and learning how to use the gouache, is because of that. Just because when it dries, I mean acrylic gouache, not gouache, because gouache is just kind of like watercolor but more opaque. So acrylic gouache is that when you use it, when you color with the acrylic gouache, when they dry, your first layer will be permanent. So it will not move, you know. So again, pros and cons, because if you make mistakes, then you won't be able to, you know, move it around. Because when you're using watercolor, and if you feel like you make a mistake, you just grab some water and then kind of pull those colors away and then start fresh. But with acrylic gouache, you can't do that, unfortunately. All right. So for my girl, I'm going to use a brown here. Just brown. And there's something magical about using watercolor. It's like looking at what I'm doing right now, and I'm seeing the water absorbed in the paper. I'm seeing the colors move around with the water. There's just something very therapeutic about it. So even though it's a little, it's an extra work from, just using markers, I try to enjoy it because it's the process that, you can't, you cannot replicate this process. So don't take it for granted. Just kind of enjoy it. And people will say, well, who has time for that? Well, I suppose nobody. You're going to have to make time for it. I've just been super blessed that art is what I do for a living other than, music. So I get to really create and enjoy and have fun. All right. So here, I'm just going to color in the computer. I'm going to get a little bit of blue in here. There's a little bit of blue, but I'm going to really water it down. So it's almost like gray. Wow, the trees are blowing hard and the leaves are falling outside. So this is really washed, very washed look because I don't really want a whole lot of color in the computer, but just enough to not make it super dull. And then grab that same color that we mixed and add it to that little tiny heart. Super cute. All right, then moving on to our little girl. We'll make the her hair orange. So she's a redhead. And don't mess with her. It's Monday. She needs her coffee. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stop right there in the middle, grab more colors, and go from here, this end right here, and bring the colors up and leave a negative space in the middle. It just gives this highlight look. Then I'll repeat the same process and then color in the rest of her hair. I'm not going to worry about highlights or shadows here anymore. Just use that same color. Do that. Clean my brush. I'm going to grab the same color. I colored her shirt in the other picture. Color that part in. All right. Now to color in our froggy. Let's go in over here. Let's grab a green for our plants. This is like a very pretty, I can't even explain this color right here. Like mustardy green, green gold, I suppose, for the lack of a, I guess I'm so intelligent when it comes to explaining my colors. Not. I'm just going to mix a different green this time, just to kind of have a different shade for our frog. So I kind of mix that teal with that mustard yellow that I have in the palette to create this different shade of green. So we can differentiate the frog, separate the frog from the plants and the leaves. And then I'll just use that same green to color this part in here. Like that. All right. Then I'll use the same orange for the mushroom. I'll add a little bit of maroon in that orange mix so we can get a different shade. And this is what I love about watercolors, is because they're super fun to use, and experimenting with it has been such a wonderful experience. Just coming up with new colors, you know, making mistakes and making muddy colors and then starting again. I feel like you get such different results each time because, you know, and sometimes you will use too much pigment for that mix or not enough. And so you get different look each time, and it makes it super interesting and just super fun. All right. So I created that washed look first, very washed of that orange color that we have. And then I just added some magenta to kind of add shadow and depth to it. And then of course, leaving the negative part of it just white. And then I'll add some brown. This, clean my brush so I can just blend this, move the colors, take out some of the pigments by wiping my brush in a paper towel. Just gives us different results. All right, then last but not the least, we have our fairy. She is so cute. I feel like my fairy, I want like lighter orange hair. So we're gonna do this. And you know, lately I have been really enjoying using watercolors and then creating textures using some colored pencils. So I know that this video is taking forever now, so I might not do that, but maybe off camera I'll do that later. I'll just pick up some of the magenta color and color in her bow, and just be careful so that you don't blend too much, because while it's still wet, the tendency to, you know, blend the two colors that you're using are very, very high. And so I'm just going to leave it like that for now because my hair is still wet. I'm going to use the teal color for the dress. And then just go real careful where the star part is so we don't color that star. And then like that. Oops. Told you, I always color outside the line. Like that, and I'll pick up some of the brown for her skin. And the more I try to be careful, I feel like the more I make mistakes. And so it gets really frustrating. It's like I'm trying to be careful, and the more I try, I feel like it's teasing me. It's like taunting me. The more I try, the more mess I make. It's like, how? Why? How can I do that? And just picking up little color each time. You know, when you feel like you didn't pick up enough, so just kind of like very little only, since I have very little space to color also. All right, and then grab some of those yellow and color this part in. And remember, the more water you use, the more waiting time you're gonna make for your page to dry. So if you're using more water, then more drying time for you. That's why I try not to use too much water, especially when I'm just working in my bullet journal like this, because I don't want to wait forever to dry. And so, yeah, I mean, this is it pretty much. I'm pretty sure I'm going to use some stickers here and there just to kind of add, um, visual interest. And here I'm just going to add like a little bit of those stars that I have with the fairy. So we kind of pull that same look over here onto our left side. But if you have any questions for me, you can leave them in the comment section down below. And once I have this video up, I will try and find the links to some of the supplies I used today. But as always, thank you so much for being here and thank you for joining me. It's been super fun. I hope that this video was helpful and inspiring in some way, that you'll try and create some fun spreads in your journals or in your planners, by just using your own doodles. But thank you again, guys, so much. Until next time, stay creative and you guys stay happy. I'll talk to you all very soon again. Bye.